Are you the negative two? Negative one, sorry.
Yes. Thank you so much. I would like the previous speaker to tell me. She said girls cannot be people who can do anything like bricklaying, but I would like to inform you that even in the Bible it is written in Galatians chapter 3 verses 28. I can give you the proof in the Bible.
Excuse me?
Yes, please.
You're running to ask questions, not to inform. You just ask a question and let her answer.
Thank you. All right. I would like you to tell me, are you aware that God created both male and female in equal manners, and we are all in his image?
I'm aware of that, but since we are living on planet Earth, there is a way we put things into ourselves. I talked about self-perception. You yourselves, you're the ones who engage in something like, I want to go for this. You're the ones not knowing that God created you with a talent to showcase it out, and maybe it will lead to success. So it is us ourselves that do things interchangeably, but God, indeed, he did his right part. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. But I would also like to ask you, did you really go through the school politics stuff very well? Because not all head prefects in all schools are male or boys.
But I was specific in this, saying that some. And in some, this is the highest percentage, whereby boys are the ones who are coming out as head prefect. A few are the ones coming out as a head prefect, and in a girl perspective. Thank you.
Well, you mentioned that the head prefect of Oxford High School is a male, of which is very wrong, because our head prefect is a female and she goes by the names Mahame Brenda. My last question to you is, who is the Speaker of Parliament?
How is that connected to what we are having right now, please?
Of course, we are talking about stereotypes, and you are telling us that females cannot come up to do something that is actually profitable unto them. But who is the Speaker of Parliament?
I won't answer that question because it is not relying straight to what we are having here. We are talking about gender stereotypes, whereby a woman is the one who is not believing in his or herself that I can do this. So I don't have any way of answering you that, because here we are not talking about ministers or parliament anyway. We are talking about the main resolution, which states that should schools play a more active role in breaking down gender stereotypes. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, but I would like to inform you that many people that you're saying that don't have the ability or the capability to come up. For example, I talked of the Speaker of Parliament, who is none other than Honorable Anita Among. She is a female who discovered herself. Our Prime Minister also is a female who discovered herself, and it is not only that, those people can only be male. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for the opportunity granted. I recognize the panel gathered, the two antagonistic bodies, and the Oxfordians back home. Good afternoon. My name is Okananon Collins Julius, and I'm here to negate on the motion that states that should schools play a more active role in breaking down gender stereotypes. I say no. Why? There are so many other institutions that can do this, because schools may not have time to break down gender stereotypes. Schools, most of them are commercialized. For example, Bugema Comp is a commercial school. It is a private-owned school. Oxford High School is a commercialized school. So they may not have time to break down the gender stereotypes. Instead of focusing on covering the syllabus and maybe mentoring people in certain ways, they are not supposed to do this as the most active player. Why? Why do I bring this? So allow me to add my points. The first point is unconscious biasness in the classroom. This is where you get that in a classroom, mostly male teachers may tend to favor or praise the girls' ideas, and sometimes they may not recognize the boys' ideas. you find that when a question is asked and it's a male teacher in class, a girl can raise up the hand and the boy can raise up the hand. You will find that the teacher is instead going to choose the girl and is going to, even if the girl has mentioned the wrong answer, it is he or she is going to praise the girl mostly. So here I bring an evidence that kudos to the girl-child empowerment. Now, and it's happening in the school sector. It reads, I think we now realize how the girl-child empowerment is important to us, with the girls performing better than the boys. Then, if you're only empowering the girls and you're leaving the boy aside, so what are you promoting gender equality or what? Don't you see that here you're still promoting gender inequality? Allow me present my evidence on the table. If these things were done culturally, maybe you grew up knowing that this and this should happen in this way. Maybe you grew up knowing that a boy can do anything, a girl can do anything. A girl can do anything that a boy can do. So you grew up knowing that people are equal and you can do anything that anyone else does. Don't you see that? When you grow up with that mentality, because it's in your culture, you will be ready to attack anything and do with anything that comes across. Talk of religious institutions. When you go to churches and they preach to you, don't you always believe? Isn't they saying in the Bible that all people were created in God's image and all people are equal before the Lord? So, if we're all taken in this way, that everyone is equal before the Lord and everyone can do anything, don't you see that it would be a more advantageous thing than giving schools a more active role to play in breaking down the gender stereotypes? Allow me summarize by saying it also reduces the likelihood of scholastic success. When students are certain whether they belong to a class or not, this can affect their performance in valuable relationship. I remain Okaronon Collins Julius, for God and my country, excellence always.
Thank you. Cross-examination.
Much to my dear Honorable, how is culture related to schools?
Quote me right. I said schools should not play the most active role in breaking down the gender stereotypes. I said if you had grown up knowing that you as a girl, you can do whatever me a boy I can do, it would have been a more advantageous thing, because it is in your origin. All of us have culture. All of us have origin. If from your childhood your mother used to teach you that don't fear to do anything, because whatever a boy can do, you can also do it. That's why you go to school and you find that girls fear sciences, they fear maths, they fear what? Because they didn't encourage them from their origin, from their childhood, that you can also do what the other boy can do.
Okay, thank you. I heard you speaking of gender equality. Are you affirming or negating?
Here we understand the resolution. Should schools play a more active role in breaking down the gender stereotypes? So we're also saying schools should play, but to a lesser extent. That's why we are saying other institutions should also be given a chance to play roles in breaking down this, not only given to schools, because schools have a lot to do. They have to even prepare for the job market.
Is it that we should have institutions for gender equality only and schools only?
Pardon on that?
Is it that we should have schools only and institutions for gender equality only?
That's not what I said. I said schools should play to a certain extent, as other institutions like cultural settings, religious institutions, home or organizations also do their part. Like, you can't tell me, I didn't say that culture should go and start. Okay, you do what you know is relevant on your side, not doing everything that even culture or home or other organizations are supposed to do, or other religious organizations.
Time up for cross-examination.
Thank you.
Opportunity granted. What of observed, my name is Shipta John. from the affirmative side, and I'm here 100% to affirm the resolution which is well known in the House, saying that should schools play more active roles in breaking down gender stereotypes. As you have been hearing from my fellow speakers, 100% we are saying yes, schools, they have to play more active roles in breaking down gender stereotypes because they are affecting us students in schools and after school. Before I go furthermore, dear judges, I would like to request, like you allow me explain to my fellow speakers from the negative side. They don't know the meaning of parameter and status quo. So please, I would like to request you lend me your ears. I give you the definition of parameter. Parameter simply means, refers to a place where one is basing at in a debate, and status quo refers to percentage or number of people or things that are depending on the resolution given in the debate. Sticking back to the resolution, as I've been hearing from my fellow speakers, dear judges, they are assuring us 100% that stereotypes, they are affecting us students in the schools, and schools, they have to play a hard role such that these stereotypes, they are broken out of schools, whereby one of my fellow speaker came and said that boys are better at sports than girls. Yes, dear judges, many schools, they are believing that only boys are the ones who are better in sports, forgetting that there are also girls who are gifted with talents in sports. And this is giving me the assurance that today, this debate, we are winning it, we are farmers, because there are also girls who are talented in sports, whereby you can find a girl, when he goes in the field to play football, you can find a girl does it even better more than a boy. But because a school is having a stereotype of saying that boys are the only ones who are better in sports, and they are not concentrating on the talent of this girl here, and whereby, dear judges, you also know very well that schools are the foundation of everything, whereby I might come in a school, I'm having my vision of becoming a footballer in the future, and when the school is not concentrating on my talent, indeed I'm not going to achieve my goal. So please, the schools have to play a very big role to break these gender stereotypes in schools, because people have different goals. And my fellow speaker also came and said that boys are the ones who are gifted in leadership positions. Yes, dear judges, what you are right now, you began from high schools, and you saw what was happening in high schools. The positions of the leaders in the school, mostly, they were what? They were boys, forgetting that there are also girls who can do better in leadership. I would like to give also the example of the what? Of head prefect in a school. Many schools in Uganda, they are believing that the post of head prefect is only a boy who can run that what? That post there. But dear judges, I want to assure you that also girls, they can also do better in running that post of leadership of prefect, whereby also girls, they're having their targets of becoming maybe the MPs and the presidents of their places in the future. And if they are denied a right of being a prefect in a school, indeed, dear judges, it is going to affect their future. And that is why you are seeing corruption in our country. The number of our leaders in our country, mostly they are men. Reason being, the schools, they are concentrating a lot on boys of being leaders in the school. They are forgetting girls. So the schools, they have to play a very more active role in breaking down gender stereotypes, because they are affecting us students, and after our schools, they are also affecting our future, because we have different goals. And also, this stereotype of saying that science subjects are only for boys, not girls. Dear judges, I would like also tell you that there are girls who can do better in science subjects more than even boys. But because of the stereotype that the school is having, a girl, even if she comes in the school saying that I'm applying for what? I'm going to do science subjects in A level, the school won't concentrate on her views, because they're having that stereotype of saying that all science subjects, they are only for boys. So please, dear judges, I want to assure you that the schools, they have to play a more active role in breaking down gender stereotypes, because we learn from yesterday live for today and hope for tomorrow. What do I mean? Dear judges, we learn from our mistakes. If I be in a school and I do something, I fail, I get a skill, whereby next time when I do that thing again, I want to repeat. I'm going to get a skill, I'm going to it perfect next time. So if the school allows all genders to practice in everything in the school, they are going to perfect what they want to become in the future. I conclude by saying, dear judges, schools should play a significant role in breaking down gender stereotypes because it is needed for a better society. Thanks for listening. This is my case.
So much.
No cross-examination.
We expect
No,
the
no
last
cross-examination.
Let's
We want the
let
last
speaker
person.
come.
Thank you so much for the opportunity granted. The judges, the two bodies competing, and even our dear listeners outside there. My name is Omaidi Daniel Okware, a student at Oxford High School, Form 5. I am here to oppose the motion that states, should schools play a more active role in breaking down gender stereotypes? But before I go further on my views, allow me first highlight on some things or correct some of the things the last affirmer said. One, he talked of schools do not teach or do not concentrate on girls who need to offer science subjects, but didn't tell me which school exactly does not concentrate on teaching girls science subjects. Another thing, they talked of the responsibilities should be left for the schools. But you find that this thing, if the responsibilities are left for all the schools, this is where stress becomes that if in case the school concentrates on these responsibilities of breaking down the gender stereotypes, you'll find that there will be low coverage. And for schools to avoid this low coverage, this is where you find that schools only concentrate on promoting or breaking down gender stereotypes on academics and leaving other things relating to gender stereotypes on other fields. For example, marriages and other things. All of us, or majority of us, I know others are wishing to be nuns or fathers, but majority of us are wishing to become parents. How can the school help us? Here the school is going to teach me or promote or break down the gender stereotypes in physics, history, among others. But now how is it going to help me in the future that I'm going to face tomorrow? Don't you see that that one is going to leave me with more problems ahead and I have more or greater future? Now allow me start with my adding more highlights on what my fellows have talked. One is, if the school plays a more active role in breaking down gender stereotypes, this will render other institutions less active. I'm very sure this is a radio station and they always have these moments of where they always promote these gender stereotypes. But now if they say the things are left for all the schools, don't you see that you will render this part of the radio station programs useless, because students won't have time to tune onto the radios, and you'll find that the radio will get less customers. This comes in a case that if me the listener don't listen to this radio station, will the business person come for advertisement in the radio station, and which this will run to loss of employment. How is this losing to employment? Those people who come to present their issues about gender stereotypes on radio stations, they are paid. They don't come for free. So now if what they are doing is useless, can you be paid for nothing? No. Another thing is this. It will be rendering other ministries useless. For example, the Ministry of Gender, Labor and Economic Development. These are the ministries that help to break down gender stereotypes. But now if all the responsibilities are left for only only schools, how will this ministry be useful? So this is that these ministers who work there, or the cabinets who work under that ministry, like the minister, the secretaries among others, they are paid, they are employed, they call it their employment. But if this responsibility is only left for the school and they are useless, don't you see that they'll end up going back home and they are children are the ones to face it rough. Another thing is that if they leave this for all the schools, it will promote sexual abuse. How is this going to promote sexual abuse? If this is where teachers will get chances of sweet talking, majorly the female. This thing is very common with the male teachers in high schools. Because I'm also a student and I always witness this for myself in many various schools. You find there is a teacher-student relationship. This all comes because most responsibilities are left for teachers to do, and yet it is some responsibilities that are supposed to be done by our parents or our relatives at school. But if you leave all these responsibilities for only the school, it will greatly affect, because a teacher will use that path to pretend that he's trying to guide, to counsel the student, but when the teacher is eating up the student's mind in any other way, then another thing is, this will demote cultures. How will this demote culture? If me a student, I went to school and I felt everything is given me at school, it will make me feel like the culture is now useless. For example, for the Gishu's, even if I'm not a Mugisu, if this thing is only left that for the schools to be done, well, this is that this one is going to affect the Gishu boy. Like, I always associate with the Gishu boys, and they always tell me that if you're not circumcised, your father can't give you land. And now if you're only concentrating on schools, where the schools are not so much concentrating on your cultural breakdown of the gender, they are not over concentrating on breaking down the gender stereotypes relating to your culture, and you feel you're only concentrating on schools and the hospital circumcisions, don't you see that this will really affect students? For that, allow me end there. I remain Almighty Daniel Okware.
Thank you very much. Our competitors, Oxford High School, and then Bugema Comprehensive Secondary School. At this time, I also want to thank our teachers in the two schools. Thank you for making it here. We'll go in for a short break and we'll come back with the results.
I want to start by thanking the two schools that have involved themselves in this wonderful debate. I must say that on my side, I don't know about my colleague there, on my side the debate was very tight, very stiff. Both sides were almost equal in terms of strength and in terms of weakness. So I'm going to start with just a few highlights of the debate and my analysis of them, so that first of all you can learn a few things. One thing I realized in general is that both of you don't understand the Karl Popper method very well. And in the Karl Popper method, I am not saying words like opposer, proposer are bad, but we always prefer words like affirmatives and negatives. You get? I'm not saying that the word motion is bad, but we prefer the word resolution. You're getting me? And here, it is always good to emphasize teamwork. When you come here as the affirmative one, and you refer to your points as your points, and I don't know why you like using the word points, because in context of debate, a point is a view that has been authenticated. You are getting me? Your view has not yet been authenticated. Why call it a point? That's why it's always better to say, these are our views. You get? We as the negatives, these are our what? Our views. This is a song we have been singing for quite a while throughout the previous debates. The first affirmative and first negative, your job is to come here, break down the resolution, make someone seated there in the audience understand what the other two are going to come to talk about. You may not talk about them yourself. I don't know why you come here, define a few things hurriedly, and then after defining a few things hurriedly, you go straight to debating. That's not your job. That's the job of the affirmative 2 and negative 2. Your job is to introduce. Your job is to dissect the motion, define the keywords, put them in context of the motion, and then you can maybe explain the key view If you have 5 views that your side came up with, bring out the heaviest. Are you getting me? And then let it be the mother of the other views that are going to come out of it. You can explain it and use your time well, but basically for you, your job is to ensure that by the time you sit, everyone has understood what we are talking about. Now this is the motion. Should schools play a more active role in breaking down gender stereotype? Very few people have understood it, because both sides did not break it out well. Define keywords. What are the keywords here? A school is a keyword, right? Isn't it? A more active role. More. That word more means that schools are already playing a role. But someone is proposing, should they play a more active role? Should they involve the role that they play? Should they increase it? And then breaking down gender stereotype. When you define gender alone and you define stereotype alone, it's going to cause you trouble. Define the whole statement. Gender stereotype. The general perception in public about how or what is required of a man or what is required of a woman. It's a general perception. It is a preposition of people. They are thinking. You're getting me? I remember in the schools you have been, personally in my former school, it is the girls who were peeing. But does it mean a boy cannot peel? You're getting me? So it is a stereotype, and these stereotypes actually, they're happening in schools. The school programs are the ones that actually create them. You're getting me? Sweeping in some schools is done by girls. Sweeping of the classroom, mopping. And then boys are sent to go and, the firewood and slashing the compound. You're breaking down roles. You should have told us that in schools this is happening. But we as schools need to increase it and put them in this. So you're supposed to give us the trajectory of your debate if you're supporting that in schools it is happening, but it needs to happen more in this context. Then, lastly, the affirmative 3 and negative 3. Most of you come here and you try to bring new debates. It is not good. You get? Okay, thank you.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Like my coach had said that all teams seem to be equal in strength and weakness. And that was true. I saw that too. I first want to speak about the first speaker from both sides. All of you failed equally, and all of you passed equally. I was surprised. They are farmers. I remember we talked about placing the right people in the right positions. Why did you make him the last speaker? Because when he came in, he introduced something called parameter and status quo, which I didn't hear from the first speaker. I don't know if you noticed that, but I noticed that very well. The first speaker, you did not give us your status quo and your parameter of this debate, and that is your job. When the third speaker brings it, it carries no point, because that is not his job. And now I don't know whether you did this individually or you cooperated as a team, because there is no way a third speaker can know what a first speaker does not know. If you people did what? You did it as a team. I don't know, but you go and reorganize yourselves in the right positions. And this side, I don't know, but I did not hear it from anyone. At least these people try to bring it at last, but I did not hear it from the team, the negatives. I did not hear status quo anywhere, parameter anywhere. I did not hear action plan anywhere, so I don't know what happened. And the motion, the resolution was asking whether schools should play a more active role. Well, this is a problem that is in schools, but The team are farmers. You said yes, schools should play a more active role because there is this problem, but I did not see the how point. You gave me and explained the stereotypes. We had them, that these subjects are for boys, these sports are for boys, and when teachers come to class, things like that, right? But how? The point is, if there is a problem, how should schools play a more active role? Should they go back and revise their rules in leadership? Should they go back and talk to the girls or the boys? Should they go back and, you know, and maybe encourage them? This is what you're supposed to bring, okay? Tell us how. You explained the stereotypes. Yes, that was very good, but how? We're looking for the how part, because the how part is the one that is going to take away the problem of stereotyping which is existing in schools. I hope you understand my point, okay? Then this side, the team are negatives. I like the second speaker. The second speaker tried to bring out what I was looking for, because they told us that, no, schools should not play. They said schools should play, but they shouldn't be the ones playing a more active role. We have culture. We should be taught these things. We should come to school knowing our position as boys and girls, so that when we reach in schools, we are not stereotyped. They say no, religion should also be playing a more active role. Why? Because schools have a lot of things to do. Schools have academic issues, they have a lot to cover, and you understand the pressure. Candidates, when you go to schools, you understand there's a lot of pressure. You even study at night. So these people are coming to tell us that no, they should play, but they shouldn't be the ones playing a more active role. Why? Because there is no time. We have to cover a lot of things, but who should play a more active role? Culture, other organizations, the ministry. This is what the people are saying. And that is what I was waiting for, but good enough, the second speaker brought it. I hope all of you had that, and I wasn't mistaken. I also liked there is a sentence he used. He said, to a lesser extent, the schools should play an active role, but to a lesser extent, because there are other organizations, there are other organizations that should play a big role. I think that was basically the comments, and we go to the results. We have
maybe before you go to the results,
yes.
I just want to make one more comment on the evidence.
Okay, yes.
You know, I think maybe the candidates were rushing to look for something that looks like evidence, and decided to bring here things that are not in context with what the debate is talking about. Because now when you look at this newspaper, it is talking about human trafficking of the Karamajong girls. It might be connected, but how do you connect it? You did not connect it. You understand? You should have maybe brought it and said, this maybe happened in a school whereby girls were taken, you get? Or it happened in a way that the schools in Karamoja were teaching girls that they should be used as human things, so something like that. But you can just come and present evidence like this, you get? And then, lastly, before they announce the results, cross-examination. Cross-examination was poor, majorly coming from that side. When you are cross-examining someone, don't ask a question, then you go and sit. You are giving them ample time to think, and yet cross-examination is supposed to put someone under pressure. You know? You're supposed to ask someone those. I like someone here who was asking questions that were not in relation to anything, but you are still failing to answer. Yeah? That is cross-examination. Ask someone something that you know they are going to fail to answer. It earns you marks. You get? I think it was this boy. There was a question he asked her and she was like, I'm not going to answer that. You know? And then even this girl asked a question, I think later, she asked someone a question about who is the Speaker of Uganda, and this one was, I will not answer that. Only that is showing that you're losing marks. When they ask you a question, if you know the name of the speaker, answer it. And then after answering, you ask them and tell them, you've already showed them that you what? You know the speaker. You get it? Thank you. You can now announce the results.
Thank you so much. You reminded me of something. It is very important to set parameters. That is what Mr. Miro is talking about. Because if you do not set your parameters to schools and you mention something, maybe that is in human trafficking or something, it is not connected. Because you left it open, you don't know where it's supposed to end. The parameters give you where it's supposed to end. You say we are going to end here. But if you don't set, you're just going to talk, even you talk about America, you talk about, because you did not set yourself. You're supposed to say maybe our context is Uganda or Mbale, and we are specifically going to look at schools. Primary or secondary, or even university, for as long as you've set, it helps you know what you're going to talk about in specific. Okay, so we have the best speaker. He's a she. He's -1. Your name is quite complicated.
Awidi Gloria.
Awidi Gloria. Yes, she was our best speaker. And our best debater for the day was A3.
Actually, in case you get lucky and go through, next time you should be the you come number 2nd. Because you came and introduced new views, yet you are not supposed to introduce anything new. It's like you told your friends, which is wrong. By the time the second speaker finishes speaking, they must have exhausted all your views, all of them. The only job you do as the affirmative 3 or negative 3 is to come and emphasize what these two have already what? Said. But don't bring anything new. That's the only mistake you made, but you're a good speaker.
Yes. What's your name again?
Shibta John.
Shibta John. Yes, from Bugema Comprehensive. Thank you very much. We have Bugema Comprehensive going out with the 67% and Oxford High School going out with the 77%. Thank you so much for participating. We hope to see you in the next session.
Thank you. This is my hobby.
All right. Thank you so much.
So we are sharing the fun again.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's been Oxford High School versus Comprehensive High School. And Bugema Comprehensive, please take heart. Congratulations, Oxford High School. And at this time, I want to thank you, our patrons. Thank you for making it here. Thank you for bringing the students for yet another debate.
Omo, are you okay? Let's start.
I'm called Bondo Francis Zambia Mande Mandela. I am the patron debating club Oxford High School. And I feel so much happy and also surprised because the last time I came, my performance was not all that pleasing. I had to go back and pan a bit on where I needed to be made some amendments. However, at this junction, I cannot say I'm extremely happy because it was competitive. The farmers really gave us at the time. They were well informed and they had very good speakers. I know that was through the guidance of their patron. But all in all, I can say I'm happy to qualify for the next round. Thank you so much, our dear listeners and all the participants.
Okay.
Okay, thank you very much. My name is Chigai Benjamin, and I'm the patron of Debate Club Bugema Comprehensive Secondary School. I want to start by thanking the organizers, that is IUIU, for organizing this debate, and it is the 2nd edition. We had one last year, and this is the 2nd edition. Today was our 2nd time to be here, and we were not able to go through, but this has given us room to improve on our mistakes, and it is a learning step. And I'm very sure next year we shall come when we have polished ourselves and we shall be ready to go to the higher level. But I thank also my school, the participants, the school for facilitating us, and we hope for the best next year. Thank you.
About me.
Yes. Okay. Start. Okay, start.
My name is Adupa Jerome from Bugema Secondary School. This afternoon we have had a free win actually from a conversation that was supposed to be between the Bugema SS and Wanalevu SS. But it has been an experience of free win since our opponents, the Wanalevu SS teammates, have not made it. Actually, they normally say when the sound of a trumpet has been heard, the roars of the lions also go silent. So I'm not surprised if the trumpets of the elephants are made. Of course, the roars of the lions go quiet. I am so glad that we have made it to the next round, and I think what the listeners should expect from our next round is quite important, and I promise that always we remain the elephants. When the elephant trumpets, the roars of the lions go quiet. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. This is Nambozo Christine Wadada, a teacher at Bugema Secondary School. So this afternoon we came around very ready to have a debate with our opponents, that is none other than Wanalevu Secondary School. Unfortunately, we were told that they have declined to participate in the debate. And that one has given us a sure win. We are through to the next level. But I want to assure all the listeners that we are not scared. We are very ready, just like we had come very ready to face the opponents. We believe that even the coming opponents, we are ready to face them. And we are actually aiming at a bigger picture, and that is victory for the challenge. Thank you very much for listening. I remain Nambozo Christine, a teacher at Bugema Secondary School. Thank you.